What's up, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the TNR Sports Show, the one and only college football-based podcast that also talks about a wide variety of other sports. Well, college football-based, and I mean college sports-based. That's what I mean. And we also talk about the NFL, baseball, basketball, several other sports. The NBA, the MLB, you know, that's what we do. We like college football. Why would I stay on topic? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
That's not a good choice. But that's Ryan's. Marissa, I'd say what's up's going into the crowd.
What's up, everybody?
We're sitting here recording week 8 of college football. It's almost over. What's your thoughts on that, Ryan?
As a Clemson fan, thank God. As an Oklahoma fan,
thank God.
Pessimistically optimistic.
As an Arkansas fan,
so we'll see.
As an Arkansas fan, I feel confident. As a Carolina fan, I'm not actually a Carolina fan. I just like darning this cool hat that I bought online. It says Cax. And then the University of South Carolina too, I think, is on top of it.
Yeah.
Or University. You can look at it in the camera, people. Yeah. But I digress. But coming at you live and in color, talking about these games. It was a great week 8. A little underrated, I think. People look back. There was a lot of big upsets, a lot of people falling. Some teams got exposed that we kind of thought weren't that really good anyway. There was a lot of stuff going on. But before we get started, I also forgot about this, Ryan. I didn't have the AP Top 25 pulled up. I'm falling apart tonight, people. I am falling apart. I don't have it anywhere near me. Let me pull it up on my phone real fast. But in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I will read off the power rankings that we have on TNR. Oh, my God. South Carolina power rankings. You got Coastal at number 1 still, Clemson at number 2, and South Carolina at number 3. It hasn't changed because we're still all very terrible. Does that make any sense? Everybody's
sense.
still really bad. All these teams lost, so it's hard to move anybody up or down.
Except for Oklahoma won.
Well, no, the South Carolina power rankings only.
South Carolina.
Okay. South Carolina. All 3 of those teams lost.
Yeah.
Coastal lost to App State. Clemson lost to Pitt. And South Carolina lost to Texas A&M. So there you go. In other news, our teams. So we have 4 teams we cover: Oklahoma, Arkansas, Clemson, South Carolina. The rankings have changed a little bit from last week. You have Oklahoma number 1, Arkansas number 2. They've retaken that spot. Clemson number 3 and South Carolina number 4. Very exciting. And then here's your AP Top 25. You got Georgia at number 1. They're going to just destroy anybody. And nobody stands a chance. If they don't win it this year, Kirby Smart and Georgia are damned. They'll never win it. They'll be in because everybody else is just awful.
Yeah.
Cincinnati couldn't barely beat Navy. They hold at number 2. Alabama struggled a little bit against Tennessee. They didn't blow open in the 4th. Oklahoma struggled against Kansas. Ohio State looks very good.
They look good again, yep.
They blew out Indiana, but it is Indiana, so, I don't know how much that means. Michigan's sitting pretty at number 6. Oregon at number 7. I think that's well-deserved. Michigan State at number 8. Iowa at number 9. 2 highly ranked, if you ask me, but that's just me. Ole Miss at number 10. Notre Dame at 11. Kentucky at 12. Wake Forest, too low, at 13. Texas A&M at 14. 15 is OK State. 16 is Baylor. 17 is Pittsburgh. 18 is Auburn. 19 is SMU. 20 is Penn State. 21 is San Diego State. 22 is Iowa State. 23 is UTSA. And 24 is Coastal. And 25 is BYU. So there's your AP Top 25. Wow. Any notables in there?
I think SMU needs to be ranked a little higher.
I think 19. Wake Forest needs to be higher.
Yeah.
I'm a big Wake Forest stan. I believe in the power of Wake Forest.
I think if especially if they beat Duke and UNC I mean, obviously, if they run the table, I think they should be in the playoff consideration for sure. Because you got Duke, UNC, NC State, Clemson, and BC, tough teams,
Yeah.
not including Duke. And you've already and you've kind of played a mediocre schedule. I mean, Virginia looks like they're a good team, but yeah, I think Wake should be I think Wake should be above Kentucky and Notre Dame at least, and Iowa. But yeah,
Yeah, I agree. As a
What are you
Wake Forest stan, even though I don't think I can name one player on that team, that said,
Sam Hartman.
I don't think who.
Sam Hartman
Yeah, very good quarterback.
from Mount Pleasant,
Ooh, who do he play for?
some private school, Oceanside or something.
Oh yeah, it's like one of those big prep schools.
Yeah,
We have one of those here. I don't know if you knew
he
that.
played one season though. He was otherwise from North Carolina.
Well, one season is one season, but whatever.
It's one season, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He was from Mount Pleasant. He'll always be known as that guy. Anyway, speaking of, let's just get into it. A lot of good football this weekend. We'll start with Coastal at App State. Me and Ryan both picked Coastal. They both lost. We started 0-1, which is a bad start. App State upsetted Coastal 30-27. Ryan, any prevailing thoughts?
Yeah, Clemson's former quarterback. Kind of wish he was the current quarterback.
Big game. Bryce. That's what they call him up there in App State.
Yeah,
Big
Chase
game
Bryce played really well. Helps App State get a big upset, and good on them. Maybe we'll see if they get to play each other again. Maybe.
Yeah,
Probably
there you go. Big game Bryce. How about that?
Again, Bryce, good job.
All right, Tulane at SMU. SMU was favored by 14. They beat Tulane 55-26. The Ponies are rolling, Ryan.
Yeah,
A Pony Express.
Tanner Mordecai's killing it right now, and he's on a roll and probably should be considered in the Heisman as well. So, but big game next week. They got Houston, so that's a big one.
Ooh, the Dana Whites. And then not Dana White.
Dana Holgerson or something like that.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, Dana Holgerson. Dana White, that's a UFC guy. Oh my God. I don't even know the name of the coach. Actually, I don't know. What's SMU coach's name? A little trivia for you, Ryan.
Sonny Dykes.
Ooh. Almost said something I shouldn't have said. So credit for me not saying it. Middle Tennessee at UConn. The line's -1 if it was. I don't need to read the line. Middle Tennessee. Ryan picked Middle Tennessee. I picked UConn. I picked a lot of bad people, bad teams. They lost 44-13. Oh, that's so sad. I really trusted that pick.
Middle Tennessee State's not a good team. UConn is just so bad.
Okay, right now, early predictions. Who do you think wins between UConn and Clemson?
I don't know, because I just looked at the injury report. Clemson's just lost like 4 more guys for the season after Pitt.
They're fragile. What are they doing up there? They need to drink some milk.
At this point, UConn might win.
All right, here's one. Well, let's breathe for a second. Are you ready, Ryan, for me to just absolutely destroy you? Where my Cox at?
Your Cox hat, yes.
Oklahoma at Kansas. I think Oklahoma was just very tired. Oklahoma won 25-23, 35-23. One of the greatest college football plays of all time happened. One of the smartest college football plays. The running back was stopped on 4th and 1. Caleb Williams grabbed the ball out of his hands. I don't know if it's legal, but he did it.
They reviewed it and said it was legal. So
yeah, so he got the first down. One of the smartest thinking things I've ever seen before. You couldn't get away with that with a lot of teams. Alabama, you do that against Alabama, they're calling it back or they're going to sack you or something. Yeah, you got away with it against Kansas. That's probably somebody you get away with that. So shout out to Oklahoma. Ryan, what are your prevailing thoughts?
Ugly game. Didn't score any points in the first half, which was stupid.
God.
The defense has got to figure out how to get the secondary going again. Hopefully we'll get some former starters back who've been injured. We got Texas Tech next, then we got to bye for stretch. Oklahoma just can't figure out third down. They just cannot figure it out. If they can't figure it out, they're not going to win. They're not going to beat Baylor. Not going to beat Iowa State. Not going to beat Kansas State or Oklahoma State. luckily Caleb Williams got it going in the second half and won the game, and hopefully the defense can figure it out in secondary. I honestly, while watching the game, it kind of felt like Oklahoma just didn't take this game seriously. It kind of looks like they didn't prepare at all. They just kind of came into it like, it's Kansas, we're going to win, and that's just what it looked like. And honestly, I believe it's probably true. They probably didn't do anything. They just came in thinking they were going to crush. And
Yeah, they are. They overlook Kansas. You can't do that against the Jayhawks. They're a talented football team.
Can't overlook anyone.
Yeah, especially not Kansas.
I can't. Hopefully, it's a wake up call, but we'll see.
I don't think it's probably a lot of people aren't going to take it seriously, especially if you beat the next three and then win the Big 12 championship. I think it will matter if you lose one of those.
Yeah, if you lose that, you're done.
Well, I think Oklahoma, if they lose one game, it's all over but the crying. But they're going to put in Alabama over Oklahoma or Ohio State or,
exactly.
Cincinnati. I think they would put Cincinnati in over a one-loss Oklahoma. Now, they wouldn't over a one-loss Ohio State, but they would put them in over a one-loss Oklahoma just to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe that in my heart.
But Caleb Williams, again, saved the game.
I think honestly, it's good. It's good.
I think if he had been the starter from day one, I think that moment when he grabbed the ball out of Kennedy Brooks' hands would have been his Heisman moment. But obviously, he's not winning a Heisman. I'm not. He's you don't start week. I don't know. You don't start week 5 and go on to win the Heisman.
He's definitely the best player Oklahoma has.
I agree with that.
Spencer Rattler. I'm surprised we didn't get. I was wanting a Spencer Rattler sighting. Maybe they're going to bench Caleb Williams.
I think he was thinking he was going to get one too.
Yeah, he never did though. He never made an appearance against old Kansas. That is what it is at this point. We'll see what Oklahoma has. I think they go on the road to Oklahoma State and Baylor and have Iowa State at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know the order, but that's kind of what's going to happen. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Those kind of Oklahoma has kind of played the lower class of the Big 12 so far. So now they're in, I guess, Texas. But, we'll see. I don't even know what to think about Texas. So we'll just wait and see kind of what Oklahoma does against the better of the Big 12. So, all right, there's your Oklahoma. Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley needs to get his guys more prepared. Got to take everybody seriously, Brian. Everybody. Including Kansas. Because it's Kansas. Jayhawks. Rocked and chalked Mark Mangino, Kansas Jayhawks.
You see what they did like halfway through the game?
Oh, yeah. When they let all the fans in, they announced everybody can come in for free.
And they told it on the radio, like, if you're in the area, come to the game. We're going to beat Oklahoma.
Hey, they were close.
They're close. They're not close.
Hey, you stop that Caleb Williams play. You never know what might happen.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Illinois at Penn State. 9 overtimes, 20-18, and the under hit. A lot of people see that 9 overtimes. They're like, oh, my God. Fun fact, college football overtimes, you switch this year when it's just they go for 2-point conversions after the 3rd overtime, I think.
Yeah.
So it's all 2-point conversions. It's just one play.
Yeah.
So that's why you got 9. And it was 28.
And see, it's
they missed most of
record. Yeah, they missed all of them. But yeah.
Low hanging fruit at this point. They were just terrible.
It was such an ugly game. I was watching it, and Illinois is bad. Penn State's apparently bad. And like they literally just kept play after play. I was like, you literally just need to get 3 yards. You just need 3 yards. And they couldn't do it. Neither team could do it. Illinois finally
I think they went like 4 overtimes without scoring.
Yeah, I think they went more than that, but it was so bad. But Illinois
might have been 5. Yeah, it could have been 5. I thought they snuck a scoring one in there.
It literally took forever because, the first overtime they both got field goals. I think the second overtime they got field goals as well.
They were tied 16-16 at one point.
Yeah. So they had 2 field goals in the first 2 overtimes, and then 2-point conversions, and they just didn't get anything until like 6 or 7, or and then my God, that's terrible. Shout out to Brett Bielema. Wow. Good job, Brett Bielema.
He calls his team freaking terrible, and then they show up for him. I respect that. Good for him, man. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. I mean, you beat number 7 Penn State at Penn State.
And now they're embarrassed. And
now James Franklin will leave.
yeah, Penn State has to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Penn State, James Franklin going to USC, calling it right now. Calling it. All right. Navy versus Cincy. Navy kept it close. Cincy won 27-20. Is this another Ohio State like game where they didn't take the opponent seriously, you think?
I
No,
think
not
so.
Ohio State, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think so. Navy's 1-6 now after this loss. They were 1-5. I mean, they even had an onside kick recovered, and had the ball on the 50 with a minute to go, and they threw an interception. Since he got the ball back with a minute to go to win the game. So since he really survived, I'm actually kind of shocked they didn't drop the rankings, kind of like Oklahoma did, because it's very similar with how bad both teams performed. However, they did win. They move on.
Number 2.
So that's all that matters. You win, you move on.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yep.
All right. Maybe it's Cincy. Luke Fickell, coaching for his job. Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Ryan picked Iowa State. I picked Oklahoma State. I was wrong again. Iowa State won 24-21. Brock Purdy, Brees Hall. They like to show up when it's late in the season, not early.
Yeah, they're figuring stuff out. They won, a big game against Oklahoma State. I was even a little wary about picking Iowa State personally, but it's a huge win. It's devastating for Oklahoma State. It's devastating. But for Iowa State, they're
Oh my God, just devastating.
It
Oh
is.
my God.
It is.
Oh my God, that little red hat you're wearing showing a little bias right now. Oh, it's just devastating. That's the same thing I said when Arkansas lost to Auburn 2 weeks ago and South Carolina lost to somebody. And I was like, oh, it's just so bad for them. But it's not that bad for Oklahoma. But oh my God, Oklahoma State lost a better opponent at their home. Oh my God, get out of here. I don't think Iowa State's better than Coastal.
If Oklahoma
they went on the road,
if Oklahoma State loses to Oklahoma, they won't go to the Big 12 championship.
Oh, well.
Well.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe Iowa State.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Well,
if Iowa State drops another one, which is very likely.
Well, then they would have, because I think Iowa State most likely will drop one to Oklahoma, because Oklahoma most likely be the favorite. Oh, Iowa State would still have the tiebreaker, because Oklahoma State did have 2 conference losses. Iowa State have two conference losses, but Iowa State would have the tiebreaker.
You're really disrespecting Baylor right now.
Well, Baylor would have another loss to Oklahoma, most likely. I'm assuming Oklahoma runs it.
Okay.
So
I don't think so. I think put it down right now. Put your monies on it. Oklahoma loses one of those 3. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's going to be one of those 3. They have a tendency to do that. Could be at Baylor. That's a dangerous spot for them. Could be at Pokes.
I don't think so.
I think it could be really against Iowa State. They have trouble with old Iowa State.
I think if you're looking at it, I think the most realistic options for Oklahoma to lose are Iowa State and Baylor.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Now Baylor doesn't have any Robert Griffin IIIs anymore, but
that's true, but their defense is showing up.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I don't think it's devastating for Oklahoma State. They're fine. It was only one loss. They can go forward and beat Oklahoma, or they can beat,
They could, yeah.
Whoever they have to play at this point. Baylor probably. They played Baylor. They played Iowa State. They played Texas. All they have is left is shoot.
Yeah.
See, that's the opposite. They played. They don't wear the gauntlet, and they came out with one loss. That's not too terrible. Oh, y'all haven't ran the gauntlet yet. I'll beat Texas on a neutral field.
You still got to play the favorite.
Yeah, it's true. I guess they still have you, but y'all haven't played Baylor. They beat Baylor. They lost Iowa State, and they beat Texas. So y'all need to either do that, be a little better. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. They haven't. Yeah, I mean, they still have the crappy of the Big 10, Big 12 left to go. Like, probably haven't played TCU yet, or Texas Tech, or all those other crappy little squads. I don't think y'all played Texas Tech yet, have you?
We play them next.
Okay, so y'all win that one. Then you finish the season with the Big 3?
Yep. We get a bye week, then we get the Big 3.
You get a bye week. Well, y'all on bye right now, right?
No, we got Texas Tech.
Dang, that's brutal. Have y'all
Then
had
we
a bye week yet?
No.
Dang, I thought Arkansas was hard. Y'all's is.
So we get bye week, and then we get the
So
gauntlet.
essentially, you have a bye week this week.
I guess you're count Texas Tech as a bye week, sure.
Yeah, is it at home?
It's at home.
Yeah, it's a bye week.
Okay.
Y'all play a lot of games at home. That got Oklahoma discussion real fast. Oklahoma State not devastating. They'll be fine. I think they'll be okay. All right, next Harvard at Princeton. I went with Princeton. No,
You
yeah.
did. Yeah, you went with Princeton.
Oh yeah, I wrote Ryan with the. Okay, I went with Princeton. Ryan went with Harvard. Finally, when I got right over him, Princeton won this game after 5 overtimes, 18-16.
What a barn burner.
Yeah, man. Wow. Was there
Yeah.
a constitution played for there?
Oh, what?
A constitution. Like, you know how the UConn and Yale had the constitution game? Was there another one at this game?
I don't know what their rivalry is called. I'm sure it's got a funny nickname though.
Yeah, I'm sure it does too. Some American thing.
Yeah.
The Liberty Bell game.
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't Harvard in Pennsylvania? I think it is. I don't know where Harvard's actually located. Don't quote me on that, people.
We had no chance of getting into Harvard, so we didn't look it up. Massachusetts.
Where's Princeton is in Pennsylvania, right? Is Harvard really in Massachusetts? I had no idea.
Princeton's in New Jersey.
Tells you what I know. I think Yale's in New Jersey too.
Maybe we should just stop while we're ahead.
Smart Italians go, yeah. Hey, I'm going to Princeton. I'm going to Harvard. I'm gonna go get me a meatball sub. I guess they like meatball subs. I don't know. All right, BYU at Washington State. Who won this game? BYU. Oh,
BYU.
Man, the vaccination game.
The vaccination.
Bill Walton. I don't know if you watched it, Ryan, but Bill Walton was on stage. This guy needs to get the vaccine. What's wrong with this guy? Get the vaccine. What's he doing? And he almost slammed Corso in the face in Kirk Herbstreit. You could tell he was 100% like, oh my God, but this guy just shut. They walked into a trap putting that on there. If they didn't want him going off about the vaccine, it's Bill Walton. First of all, he's just going to go and go and go. If you didn't want that on there, if you didn't want that topic to like pop up, you don't throw that game on there. You could have picked somebody else. Instead, they throw freaking vaccination game. And dang thing, and Bill Walton starts losing his mind. Just get the shot, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just get the shot, man.
It was something. Poor Corso. I thought Corso was just like, I don't know what to do.
He almost got killed like several times. This is a pro.
Like, away from me.
This is a pro. Never mind. This is a pro podcast. We're pro everything. We're pro and we're anti. Whatever you think we are, we're anti and pro against it. So there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Funny game. The only thing I have to say, I don't even watch that game. I had no idea. I kind of forgot about it. The one thing I will say is Bill Walton, very funny.
Very fun.
Speaking of Bill Walton, when do we cover that now? Coming up. Utah at Oregon State, the Conference of Champions. I think he called it. Yeah. All right, who do we go with? We both went with Utah. No one wants to win the Pac-12 South. No one. None of them want to win it. They all want to lose it. Utah wants to lose it. Arizona State doesn't want it, and UCLA doesn't want it. They all have no interest in winning it. I say we throw USC in there anyway, even though they're god awful. We put Anakin Skywalker back in.
They're in the South.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We throw USC in the top spot.
Oh,
anyway,
just throw in there.
Yeah. Or maybe what you should actually do is put Oregon State in there, because Oregon State might be the second best team in the Pac-12. And
crazy Oregon, who would have thought?
Or yeah, the state of Oregon really is going crazy right now. Well, Oregon kind of makes sense. Oregon State, they came, they changed that. Fun fact for you: Oregon State used to be the Civil War.
Yep.
I don't think it's called that anymore.
Probably not.
Probably the Battle of a Dam. Huh?
State of Oregon wasn't even in the Civil War.
I don't think so. No, I don't know why it's called that. Maybe because Oregon's separating. I guess every football game, like Auburn and Alabama, could be called the Civil War because it's kind of separating. Civil War is just a term. It
Virginia
doesn't
versus West
necessarily mean
Virginia should
anything.
be the Civil War.
Like in the United States, Civil War was called the Civil War, but technically, a lot of countries over time have had civil wars,
Yes.
right? So civilian wars. Maybe Oregon State are having a civilian war.
I think we're looking too far into it.
Anyway, yeah, Oregon State won the football game. No one wants to win the Pac-12 South. I don't want to win it either. Screw it. I want Arizona to win it.
I don't think that's going to happen.
All right, maybe they almost beat
They won
Washington the
again.
other night
One
on Friday.
game. They haven't won
Nevada
that
at
game.
Fresno State. We're getting off track here. I'm all over the place tonight. Bulldogs won 34-32. Ooh.
Very close game, but Jack Hanner pulls it through.
Oh my God, what a great pick by me, picking Fresno State. Man, I'm on point. All right, Wake Forest and Army. As I've told in the past, I'm a Wake Forest stan. They won the game 70-56. What a big win for the Demon Deacons. I love that. I love that for them. That's good. What can you say? They're the best team in the ACC.
They are perhaps the best team in the ACC.
And they're in a really good spot to win the ACC if they can just beat NC State.
Very, very good. I think Pitt could maybe challenge them, but that's it. And I think
Pitt, I mean, the ACC Coastal, I don't know about the whole shebang. I think Pitt probably wins that. But for the Coastal, I think they can beat. They already beat Florida State, which they played a worse Florida State. They can beat Clemson's god awful. NC State, they get past NC State, who knows? I think NC State probably drops another one. So maybe they lose to NC State and still make it. So
we'll see. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, shout out to Wake Forest, man. Good for them.
Wake Forest.
If there was anybody I would have win the Coastal or win the ACC that's not named Clemson, I would have it be either Virginia or Wake Forest. I'm a Virginia fan.
Atlantic, but yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about the whole shebang.
No, okay, yeah.
If there was anybody I could see, Clemson's won it like 20 years in a row, and now they're not going to win it because they're god awful.
We'll get to that though.
All right. Arkansas peanut butter at Arkansas. Arkansas won 45-3. I watched the first half. I literally do not know what happened in the second half. I did not watch it.
Not much happened.
We were up 45-0 in the second half. At the half, so we didn't score a point. Very Clemson-esque in that nature.
Very Clemson-esque. But
we destroyed them. Our starters would have put 80 on them if we would have kept them in the game. So
big game for Arkansas, though, just in terms of getting a big win and rebounding.
Get right game, especially after the three that we just played in Georgia, Ole Miss, Auburn. That's a hard schedule. We have a hard schedule. We play tough teams. I mean, nobody in the country, we would be like undefeated if we were in any other conference around this country.
If you're in the Pac-12, undefeated.
Oh, my God.
Number one. You'd be ranked number one right now.
In the country. Yeah. My God. They wouldn't even be a competition. We're in the Pac-12 South. We'd be really, really, really undefeated. But we're not. God, I couldn't even imagine. That would be like a benefit of wealth. But no, I digress. We're not. So we have to play the Auburns, and we have to play Ole Miss. We have to play Lane Kiffin and Bo Nix and Kirby Smart and Nick Saban and Coach O and Mike Leach, and I keep going to rattle them off. Eli Drinkowitz, which whatever. That's nothing. Even though they've beaten us a couple of years in a row, but I digress. So. All right, Arkansas will be fine. They're going to bye next week. Relax a little bit, A lot of injuries. All right, Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Syracuse won 41-36.
Yep. Well, Syracuse had the 2 touchdown comeback to win the game. Syracuse's running back, Taylor, is an absolute beast. I think he'll probably be a first-round draft pick when he comes out. Syracuse is starting to hit stride, really. At the beginning of the season, they were kind of just awful. And now they're actually a half-decent team. If they had been this good all season.
I'm shocked Clemson beat them.
I know. If they had been this good all season, they'd probably be where Wake Forest is, being honest. They're a really good team. Good job. Big win at Virginia Tech, but big win for the Qs.
Yeah, I like Dino Babers, good for them. They're really coming back into form. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for everybody. Happy for the orange.
Exactly.
The orange.
Orange.
The orange. All right, Oregon at UCLA.
Man. Oregon held off a comeback. UCLA
We both
was
picked
down by
UCLA.
Yeah, we both picked UCLA, unfortunately. I was rooting for UCLA. UCLA was down by 2 touchdowns, almost came back, but just didn't have enough in the tank to beat off Oregon. Oregon looks like they might be the best team in the Pac-12. I think the only other team that really could challenge them is probably UCLA or maybe Utah, maybe Arizona State. I don't
Maybe
know.
Oregon State.
Maybe Oregon State. No one wants to win it except Oregon, it seems like.
And sometimes I wonder if they want to win it.
Right, when the Stanford game.
Yeah.
But hey, they won. They're moving on. This is probably their toughest game outside of Ohio State, toughest in conference game. So good win for the Ducks.
All right. How about them Ducks?
How about the Ducks?
I think if they win out, they probably get in.
I think they're probably up there. It kind of depends what band.
I would put Ohio State in over them at this point. I can't believe that, but
I don't think so because they got the win. Resume.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know, but you still got the win over them. You have to. It has to count for something.
That's true. If they don't put them in, it's like, what is the point of playing the game?
Because if Bama beats Georgia,
I think
it really sticky.
I think my prediction actually. We'll get to Alabama here in a little minute, but do a little preview for you. I think Alabama's going to lose to Auburn. And Ole Miss is going to the SEC championship game to play. Now, I was looking at Ole Miss's schedule. The hardest game they played in the SEC, Alabama, granted, and Arkansas. But they haven't really played any top tier. They hadn't played Auburn and Texas A&M. So it might be a little different story when Ole Miss plays A&M and Auburn. Things are going to be different then. But for now, Yeah. So, all right. Oregon, UCLA. There you go. Boom. All right, here we go. The big boy. The one we've been waiting for. Roll your drums. As a South Carolina fan, I'm unfazed. Clemson. At Pitt. What did we pick? I picked Clemson. Ryan picked Pitt. Oh my God, what a scumbag move by Ryan. I have no faith in his team. We lost 27-17. It was an embarrassment from the beginning. It was all bad, no good.
Yeah. DJ wasn't hitting stride. The defense did their part for a little bit there. They gave up some big plays. We knew it was going to happen eventually, especially with all the injuries that Clemson's getting right now on both sides. Clemson's getting shattered on injuries. It was a really close game until DJ. Let me back up. It was a really close game until Pitt threw a bomb right before halftime it was like a 50-yard touchdown pass. And then right into the second half, DJ threw a pick 6 to start it, and it was just downhill from there. They eventually pulled DJ out, but Tyson Pumashang out there.
Good.
He got a field goal. Wasn't pretty. And then they benched him and they put DJ back out there, and DJ got a touchdown. So Clemson's offense is bad. They're not figuring it out. They're getting so many injuries. It's just clear that Clemson's isn't where they're supposed to be or where they're going to be. This whole season's a wash. Pitt won 27-17, and really, I think at this point, it's just trying to figure out how to salvage next season.
Yeah. For me, I was texting my buddies. And I told him if Clemson played South Carolina right now, it may be the worst game of all time. I think I would rather watch paint dry than watch Clemson versus South Carolina right now. It'd be terrible. It'd be a disaster. So, it's not good. Yeah, it's pretty much what you said. There's nothing too much to add. It's just not good right now. It's not good. Dabo's not doing a good job. The offense play calling's not any good. The O-line's not any good. The quarterback ain't no good. The wide receivers have some youth. I think that's good. The running backs, okay. Still like Kobe Pace a lot. It's not good.
It's just not there. You just kind of hope as a Clemson fan that this doesn't turn into Florida State 2.0, where Florida State was on top of the world too. They won national championship. They won 3 straight ACC. And even for a time when Clemson became top in the world, Florida State was still good. They still won an Orange Bowl, and they won a Peach Bowl and lost a Peach Bowl, and then things just fell apart.
Well, I think Dabo would have to leave for that to happen, just kind of like Jimbo left.
I mean, even when Jimbo was still there, things were starting to fall apart.
Well, Jimbo was out of the door that last season when they went 6-6, and I think he left early, and he kind of a snaky guy anyway.
I don't know. Things are bad right now, and you got to think it's going to affect recruiting and all that stuff.
I think it's
figure it out.
I think, I don't know. I mean, Alabama has down seasons sometimes.
But not like this.
Oh yeah, but they're all Alabama. And we're not Alabama.
Like this.
This is rough. Alabama, I mean, we're getting embarrassed. And with the talent that's on that field, I don't know why it's happening. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. If Arkansas had that talent, we'd be undefeated.
Yeah.
So
I think it's time for a new O-line coach, a new offensive coordinator, and I think they'll turn it around. But I think it may take them time to get back to Tier 1, winning national championship potential.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, here's Clemson Pitt. Not that great. All right. LSU at Ole Miss on Manning Day. LSU lost 31-17. It wasn't very competitive.
Yeah, it was competitive in the first quarter. LSU had a lead, and then Ole Miss just couldn't score for a little bit. And then they started clicking, and then at that point, Ole Miss was just starting to smother LSU. I think LSU got like a garbage time touchdown to make it get 17 points. I think it was really 31-10, being realistic here. Ole Miss hit stride. I think Ole Miss, I think you're right. I think they might be able to challenge Bama for that West title. I mean,
well, they ain't challenging Bama. Bama loses.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's an opportunity there because Bama's shown weakness. And
they got to lose to Auburn.
It's not the best teams either.
Yeah, they have to go on the road to Auburn. That's really the only shot. Arkansas is not beating Bama and Bama. The only hope they would have there is the Bama fans don't show up. They think, it's old Arkansas, so they're not that good. So, and we got to rebound and kneel, but there ain't no way. So, with that being said, you had a whole Auburn pulls it out, and then Ole Miss still has to beat Auburn and Texas A&M. I should mention that, and Mississippi State. So, they could lose all 3 of those games. So it's hard to say. I don't see them losing to. At least, I don't know. Those are going to be 3 hard games for those guys. Because, Texas A&M's really hitting stride right now. They're really, 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 really hitting stride right now. And Auburn was hitting stride before the bye. I'm sure they'll be fine. And then, Mississippi State looks pretty good right now. So, hard to say what's going on. But, we'll see what happens. We'll miss. All right, who we got next? BC at Louisville. I'll run through this real fast. Louisville won 28-14. I picked BC. Boston College is done.
They're done.
I'm not picking them again, and I don't think we should cover a game by them again.
Probably won't, but Louisville's hitting stride. Good win for Louisville.
Yeah, good for Louisville. Clemson will probably lose to them too. Tennessee at Alabama. I was really impressed with Tennessee in this game. I know 52-24 was the final score. It's not indicative of what the game was majority of the time. I think going into the fourth quarter, it was only like.
It was like 31-24.
Yeah, it was like a touchdown game or something, like 30. Yeah, so it was very close. I was impressed. I don't know. I like Tennessee.
Yeah.
Good old Rocky.
Tennessee's definitely going upward trajectory. Bama showing some weakness, but still pulling out big wins.
Yeah, they have a lot of good games at home, so it's helping them out a lot too. I think they would have lost Ole Miss if it was on the road. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, San Diego State at Air Force. Who do we pick? We'll pick San Diego. They won 20-14, right?
Yep, close game, 20-14.
Undefeated.
Rolling. I can't remember who they played, but I know it's a big game coming up next. But San Diego State keeps going.
We'll get them next week. All right, Ohio State at Indiana. Ohio State hitting stride, running over people.
Yeah, Ohio State blew out Indiana
It was a
54-7.
slaughter.
Everything's clicking for them. They're a danger to face. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of those teams in the Big 12, Big 10, I think they're all fraudulent, except
I
for
think
Ohio
so.
State, which I think is very good.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Hey,
agree.
sometimes it just takes a little time to hit stride. You can ask Auburn that. You can ask Ole Miss that. You can ask Texas A&M that. You can really ask Texas A&M that. They
Really.
really. USC at Notre Dame. Speaking of two bad little doomy little teams that can't even figure it out. Notre Dame won 31-16. Notre Dame ain't making it in the playoff, and they're just playing for a New Year's Six at this point.
Exactly. And I think USC would have had a chance if Anakin Skywalker had played. They didn't.
What's his name? Hudson Card, right?
Jackson Dart,
Jackson Dart. Who's Hudson Card?
Texas.
I don't know why. I
Texas
don't know that.
But Jackson Dart didn't play at all, so that's why USC lost. They need to move on from Keaton Slovis, just like Oklahoma moved on from Spencer Rattler. But Notre Dame won.
Not good. Yeah, Keaton Slovis stinks. All right, South Carolina at A&M. Oh, man of honor. Yeah, A&M. Oh my god. Oh my god. A&M just destroyed them. I mean, you didn't see that coming, you dummy. You can't go from beating Vanderbilt by 1 point at home to like expecting to, be competitive with Texas A&M. Yeah, South Carolina boy. I was texting my friends that I was like, South Carolina couldn't hang with the big boys in the SEC West. It's a different ball game out there. I have this halftime comparison chart. I don't know what the final game was, but this is what it was at half. Texas A&M at half had 443 total yards. South Carolina had 6.
Jeez.
South Carolina had 27 passing yards at half, and Texas A&M only had 187. But the problem was Texas A&M, South Carolina had minus 21 rushing yards because they do minus in the college, and Texas A&M had 256. Texas A&M also had 24 first downs at half. South Carolina 2.
Carolina.
I told my buddy last night, I was like, it's not good. This is bad. Like, if you're a South Carolina fan, I mean, so in the past, I've always wondered, like, what was the direction, right? Because when you're an Arkansas fan, it was always like, how are we getting better? What are we doing here? And then later in the Chad Morris years, there was no getting better. You're kind of like, oh my God, that y'all are quit. Things aren't looking that good. And then you had Sam Pittman come in, and you had we started to see an upward trajectory, right? The team's getting better, getting more confident, getting more healthy. People are staying longer. People are believing in the cause. You have an upward trajectory. South Carolina ain't got no upward trajectory. They remind me of Arkansas in 18 and 19. They just no hope. I don't know. Where do you go from here? What do? You just hope Luke. I mean, you're losing defensive players next year. Your defense is the only good thing that's about you, and that ain't very good either. Hey, where's your hope lie? Does it lie in Luke Doty? Because he doesn't look very good.
Well, Luke Doty's out for a year, but
I mean, even coming back next year, there's no hope.
Well, right now, their hope lies in beating Clemson, which I think they have a shot, especially with how many Clemson players are injured. I just sent you a text of how many are currently injured. It's literally a page of starters that are just injured at Clemson. I think right now, South Carolina's looking at that game and saying, hey, we have a 50-50 shot. Let's go play them.
I don't know, man.
Columbia. I think it's 50-50 right now.
It could be. They're bad enough to do.
Look at those injuries.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's hard to say. They're just not very good right now. Nobody's good. The South Carolina Bowl is going to be awful this year. Did you know, Ryan? Fun fact for you. This is the last thing I'll say about A&M. There's a trophy there. In that game, South Carolina and Texas A&M. There's a trophy.
Carolina's never won it.
Yeah, and they asked Jimbo. They were like, have you ever seen the trophy? And he said, no, I didn't know there was one. That's not a rivalry, man. Why do you got a trophy? That ain't no rivalry. Arkansas and
They need
South
to
Carolina was never really a rivalry either. But like, I don't know.
They need to make
They're trying to force a rivalry there.
they should try and force a rivalry between Carolina and Mizzou. They're both in Columbia, and they're both in the East.
And there was a time those games used to be like uber competitive.
Yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be a nasty game.
battle for Columbia. I don't know.
That's gonna be a nasty game, Missouri versus South Carolina. Oh my God, that's gonna be terrible. That's gonna be a nasty game. You like nasty football? I do think. I don't know, man. Them quarterbacks, that offense is bad in South Carolina. That's how they got. Their offense is bad.
Well, Zeb Nolan is better than Luke Doty. I'll give him that.
Oh, just saying those words is nasty. They couldn't snap the ball. I was listening to Shane Beamer's press conference. He was like, I don't know why they had bad snaps. They hadn't had bad snaps all year and in practice. I didn't know. It shocked me too. I was like, oh, Jesus, that's not good. All right, there you go. South Carolina, Texas A&M. Woof. All right, Georgia Tech at Virginia. Virginia won 48-40. I love Virginia. I mean, good for Virginia.
Yeah.
I don't know if they played Pitt yet, but if they beat Pitt, Virginia to the ACC championship.
Yeah.
All right, there you
Georgia
go.
Tech played a close game, but yeah, good on Virginia. Good win. They got a good quarterback too.
NC State at Miami. Miami won 31-30. I watched this game.
Yeah.
It was good.
It kind of just shoves more of the crap into Clemson's face because Clemson needed this result to happen and they needed a win and they didn't get it. And so
Now it's irrelevant.
it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Completely irrelevant. So Miami
Good for
won
Wake Forest.
30. Yeah.
So if Wake Forest drops against NC State, maybe NC State, I don't know. Who do they play? Do they play North Carolina or anything like that?
Yeah, North Carolina, yeah.
So maybe if they lose that one, you never know. Dave Doran, it's kind of like Carolina and Clemson. So their whole thing is going to be beating Clemson. Dave Doran's whole thing was beating Clemson. He did that. The rest of the season's a wash for them. What does it matter to them anymore? You know what I mean? I don't know. All right. In the last game, New Mexico State at Hawaii. I watched this game on a stream on it wasn't on regular TV, so I had to watch it on a stream on my phone. Hawaii still's got a lot of COVID restrictions. And I was like, what? They're only letting 1,000 people into a stadium that fits like 2,000 people. I don't think anybody in Hawaii cares anyway, but it was, I didn't watch much of it. I went to bed, but 48-34, that sounds like a pretty thrilling game.
Yeah, I mean, not bad. Good win for Hawaii. New Mexico State sucks. They're one of the worst teams around, but
Hey,
you gotta win
what a weird place. I don't know. How do you win football there? Is it just like you go there to retire and drink martinis on the beach or something like that? What are you trying to accomplish in Hawaii? I don't know.
They used to have a really good team.
I guess. They don't even play in the Pro Bowl stadium anymore. They have their own rugby stadium now.
They beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl or something. Or did they lose to Georgia? They probably lost to Georgia. Never mind.
That would be awesome.
I know they played Georgia. I don't remember who won.
Hawaii versus Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Oh my God, that'd be thrilling.
A long time ago.
And then if they won, oh my God. All right, well, that's the end of the episode. We covered all the games. Was there anything we missed?
I don't think so. I think that's everything.
All right, I'm pretty happy. We covered everything. It was good to go. Ryan, if you have any last thoughts, this is the end.
No last thoughts for me.
All right, we'll see y'all on Friday. Keep following our Instagram. Keep following our Twitters. Keep following everything. We'll be good to go. We'll be keeping up and dating you and stuff of that nature. So we should be good. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye. Say bye, Ryan.
Bye.
Ooh. I was sitting in my house doing that yesterday. Ooh, pig suey, Razorbacks.